2023 here in today's Knife Therapy. I have my top 10 best EDC fixed blades in my collection as of 2022. And what I'm looking for in an EDC fixed blade is performance, size, somewhere around 7.5 inches and under. Ergonomics, super important. How slicey it is and how it carries as an EDC fixed blade. And lastly, the aesthetics. So these right here are 4 that didn't even make it. So you can see already that it's going to be a good list because these are all excellent knives and I could recommend every single one of these. I went out in the woods and tested my top 10 from last year, plus all my new EDC fixed blades I got from this year. And from there, I picked the best 10 out of the bunch. Real quick, these knives, you have the RMJ Tactical Jackdaw, the Hinder Knives Flashpoint, the Watchman Knives Cliff, and the Bradford Guardian 3.5. Now let's get into the video and see which ones I picked. Number 1, we have the VL Knives Ori. This is a custom fixed blade that I picked up from Blade Show a couple of years back. I have it in a Oak City leather supply custom sheath with a clip. I love this sheath. I love being able to carry it like this. It comes with a Kydex sheath. Here is the knife. I think it's a really good looking knife. Perfect size where I can still get a 4-finger grip. You got some nice thick scales on there. And we did cutting with this, and I'm going to show that. You have on my particular one is M4 blade steel, Rockwell to 63 to 64, and that's kind of what drew me to it. And I must say that the first time I sharpened this knife, it was an absolute dream. If you ever sharpen something with a custom heat treat on it, it sharpens so much easier, so much quicker, it deburrs nicely, and this one was fantastic. This thing has held an edge. This is only the first time I had to sharpen this one, and I did all kinds of cutting, and then I did the testing for the video. All I've done is drop this knife back up, and it's good to go. It hasn't failed on me yet. I think he did excellent on the handle. That nice, thicker, contoured canvas micarta scales are very nice looking and comfortable. And I think that's why this smaller handle works so nice. Then you have that beautiful drop point blade that is going to be good for just about everything that you can imagine. Drop points are excellent, and I've really grown fond to the drop point and the spear point. The spine, you may be able to strike a fair ride. That's not something that I do, but it does feel a little bit sharp. You could probably do that. Since the Ori is a custom fixed blade, it might not be that easy to get a hold of. So I put an alternative in there to the Ori, and that's the LT Wright Patriot, another really good smaller EDC fixed blade. Very easy to carry. It comes with this leather sheath, and I'll leave links down below to everything that I can find in stock. But you can't go wrong with an LT Wright. Excellent knives, and most of his knives come with a 90-degree spine. Number 2, we have the Survive Knives EDC 2.7. I'm pretty sure it's 2.7. I bought this secondhand from a subscriber, and wow, I am so happy I was able to get my hands on it. Beautiful Kydex sheath, nice drainage hole. The retention, let's listen to this. Very awesome click there. And this thing is just perfect. It's USA made, just like the last one. I mean, no, actually the last one's from Canada. This one is USA made, and they do them in batches. So if you want to get your hands on a certain one, you just got to do one of the pre-orders. I have a pre-order on another one. I don't remember what it was. It's been so long ago. 20 CV blade steel, saber grind, flat saber grind, and the handle is so amazing. You got a nice swell in the middle, and look how thick that is. This is layered G10. It is so comfortable in hand. Very comfortable, and they have amazing heat treats on their knives. I don't know if they do it in-house or if they send it off, but they do a really good job with the heat treat. Nice big old Torx heads right here to if you need to remove the handle scales to clean it out or something. Full tang, nice pommel, and then they have the hidden lanyard post right here to keep the lanyard at the very back. I love that. Whenever I have fixed blade that's small like this, if they got it right here and you got the lanyard, then your hand's on top of the lanyard. So this way it's in the back, out of the way. Oh God, this thing, it was very, very slicey and performed outstanding. It's still nice and razor sharp. And I don't know if the guy that I bought it from before had used it or not, but man, oh man, this thing was fun to use. That is a Survive Knives 2.7. Since these can be hard to get, I did have another alternative that was very close to being on this list because it's an excellent knife, and that's one coming from Work Tough Gear, and this is the Work Tough Gear Clipachi. There you go, Clipachi. This thing is so cool. Nice thick handle on this one as well. I think it's SK85 steel, and they come with a nice mirror polished edge, and this one is outstanding. I tested this one, did great, and it sliced great. I wish the handle was just a hair longer because of the way it curves right there, but that bulbous end does let you grip a hold of it. One thing that I know some of y'all will love, this, they have very sharp 90-degree spines, so if you want to scrape, you know, tinder or strike a ferro rod, you should definitely be able to do it very easily with this. But I knock it off with a ceramic rod because it just hurts my thumb when I sit my thumb down on it. But that's just my hands, and they're a little more messed up than most. So that's a great alternative, the Work Tough Knives Clipachi. Number 3, we have the SPK Unlimited Sasquatch. I don't know if this is a mid-tech or custom, but this may just be my favorite EDC fixed blade in my collection. Beautiful sheath. I love the push-off ramp there. Good positive click there. No rattle. And yeah, another one that is very, very big on performance is Mr. Alex Steingraber from SPK Unlimited. He does small batch runs, and they usually sell out rather quickly. This one is in CPM M4, I think at like 65 Rockwell. And yeah, I sharpened this one on the Wicked Edge, and this one sharpened easier than any other knife I've ever sharpened. And it got so stupid sharp, it's outstanding. If you've never got to cut or sharpen a custom heat-treated knife, definitely don't know what you're missing because they're a world different. They're much easier to sharpen, in my opinion, and they get stupid sharp. Hold that edge for a nice and long time. You got a nice full flat ground blade on here. They got nice thick micarta scales that really fill out the hand. It gives you a full-size handle, so your medium-large hand should fit just fine. You have a nice sharpening choil. He really is a stickler for detail. He tumbles his scales to make them more comfortable in hand. It's got a nice oversized lanyard hole. Kind of wish it was in the back too, but I'm fine with it on this one. You somewhat have shadow box scales on it. They're removable scales. So if you need to clean the underneath, you can do that rather easily. I just love the knife. Excellent blade shape. Another drop point. Just an awesome knife right here. But being that these are kind of hard to get, I put another alternative in there and another LT Wright. This is my brand new Frontier Valley. This is another one that I could see definitely making it on the list later down, maybe next year, but I just haven't had enough time to carry this one yet. I did some testing with it the other day, but I want to really get to know the knife before I can put it on a list like this. Because when I recommend them because I've tested them. I carried them. I really like everything about the knife. And I definitely like a lot about this knife. I just don't know yet. Definitely has a 90-degree spine on this one. You could feel it. And another full-size handle. You get more cutting length than the Sasquatch, but Sasquatch, I guarantee, is going to last longer in a cut test. Number 4, we have the BMKT Field Spec EDC 1. I got on a pre-order for this one after reviewing it, and I fell in love with the knife. I love the overall aesthetics. Nice Kydex sheath with a drainage hole there. Tons of lashing points like all the ones I'm showing y'all. And this one was, it came out, I think, last year. He had this blade shape. He had a drop point, clip point, and maybe a tanto, I think. And these are in M390, OEM'd by Best Tech. And yeah, they did a great job. Comfortable in hand, nice size. Comes down to a nice thin edge on these. Very thin. It's a great slicer. I usually grab this one whenever I want to do some detail work, or if I'm, breaking down a bunch of boxes. This one works well for that also. Love the natural micarta scales. They had natural, green, and I think black. Just an awesome knife. And I think some of these may still be floating around, or you can message him and ask him. But if not, the alternative that I threw in here that is another awesome knife is the Bradford G-Necker. I know a lot of people love this knife, and I just tend to grab this one more than the G-Necker, but the G-Necker is a very cool knife. Look at that thick, stout blade there. I know that this one's American-made, LMAX steel, decently slicey. You can get it in the drop point or the reverse tanto. Just a cool little neck. I don't really wouldn't want to carry it on my neck. It's a little weighty for that, but as you can see, I just use this little clip like I do in a lot of mine. This is from Real Steel. I love this clip. It works great. Number 5, we have the Creely Knives Mako. And this one's not something I would normally carry on me, but the Mako series is so awesome. But it has a nice utility clip on there that you can that I just clip to my shorts, so I can just pull the knife out like this. Now, this is the one I picked up from Blade Show. It's a Scandi grind, and that's why I say not something I normally would carry, because I don't usually EDC Scandi grind blades. But when I tested this one, I was very, very surprised on how well it did with just about everything. Of course, cardboard, it struggles a little bit because it wants to bind up on that shoulder, but it can get it done. This one is in CPM Magna Cut. I wish he wouldn't have done that like that. I think it just looks stupid. But the testing I did this time was after I did the testing for that review. I mean, I beat on this thing. I cut a bunch of stuff up, and it still has a really good edge. All I did was dropped it up before I did the testing this time. This handle is super comfortable. You have another swell right here. That little hump right there, the hump in the middle of the scales, really fills out the hand nicely. Yeah, the Mako, I definitely need to get me a full flat ground Mako. You can find these. I think a Knife Center had some. I don't know if they had any Magna Cut, but I know they had other steels. He does a great job with his heat treat. He Rockwells them in the 60 plus range, and yeah, definitely will get my hands on some other Creely blades eventually. Number 6, we have the Bark River Bravo EDC. This is an aftermarket sheath I bought off of Etsy. I much prefer this than the leather sheath. I don't have to worry about it corroding my blade or anything. The knife is, first of all, I think it's a beautiful knife. I think the gunny is just a classy looking, I'm guessing they call it a drop point. I don't think it's a straight back, but this one is in CPM 3V. These are made in, Escanaba, Michigan. So they're made in the USA. This handle is so comfortable. Another Coke bottle style handle with the swell in the middle. I got natural micarta with polished stainless pins and a stainless tube for a lanyard there. This one's probably my most comfortable in hand. It just fits my hand perfect. And this was the first time I did some extensive testing with this one. I did some testing before I went out into the woods, but this thing just cuts so well. It's got that full height Scandi grind on here, and man, oh man, it came sharp. Very, very nice. You got a nice crown spine on it. Just the overall package just feels like a custom knife, and definitely won't be my last Bark River. I tried to get a hold of one of those, PSK EDC Bark Rivers, but they're all sold out, and I wasn't going to pay a fortune for one. Definitely plan on getting me some more of these. Love them. The 3V held up excellent, and this thing performed excellent on just pretty much everything I did with it. Number 7, we have the White River Knives Backpacker Pro. This is another one of my favorites. If you didn't see my review where I did a head-to-head with the Backpacker Pro and the Bradford Guardian 3, and for me, this one, the Backpacker, I think won just by a little bit. Comes with a nice Kydex sheath, nice drain hole. Love the clip again. This is that Real Steel clip, so where I can clip it to the side of my pocket. Man, their presentation, their fit and finish the quality overall, the slice, how it slices. This is just an excellent, excellent knife. Whenever I did my testing first, I didn't have the handle scales as the cord wrapped, and it was just fine. It wasn't super comfortable, especially for my hands. So I bought the Peel Ply G10 scales with the green Peel Ply with the orange liner, and man, it changes knives so much. For me, I prefer this one beat out the Bradford Guardian 3.5 for me. They're very similar knives. I just find that this one's a little bit easier to carry for me because it's a little bit smaller. Show you real quick. If you go butt to butt, you can see it's a good bit smaller than the 3.5 inch. But let's see how much blade length. Yeah, very close on the blade length right there. Very close. You get about, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch more blade length than the Bradford. Now, don't get me wrong, this one's super comfortable. This one's just a better slicer, and I just overall, I'd rather carry this one. This one would be more of a belt knife for me. It handled everything in my testing. It has an excellent heat treat, made in the USA. Sharpening choil, sharpens up nicely. It's got jimping. It's comfortable. I mean, what more is there to say? If you hadn't seen my full review of this, you definitely need to go check it out. S35 VN steel, if I didn't say that earlier. Number 8, we have the Rainer Knives Fast Pack. Thanks to a subscriber who put me onto this. I'm so happy he did because I love the knife. This is another U.S. company. They have this knife, and they have a little bit bigger version of this. This kind of reminds me some kind of the backpacker that I just showed. This particular knife is in L Max. It's a perfect size for my hands. It's super lightweight. When you get this, it feels like it's like a featherweight. Nice full flat ground blade. You can also get it in a saber ground blade. Nice micro milled natural micarta scales that are removable. They have the kind of gimmicky 1/4 inch drive hole right there. I could definitely do without that, but I like how they put the hidden lanyard post that'll stay out of your hands way. Yeah, this one's really nice, and I did a full review on the channel. That's why the testing this time, I didn't go too far with it. I'll definitely be picking up the bigger one eventually. I've still been enjoying this one, and yeah, definitely won't be my last. Hopefully they do come out with some more models. I think it's just these two. They may have another. I'm not certain on that. But super nice people. I communicated with them through email before I bought it and asked them a few questions about it. They were very nice and answered all my questions. But yeah, love the knife. Definitely go check that one out. Number 9, we have the White River Knives Sendero. It's the second one from White River because I love their knives. Some people wouldn't classify this as an EDC fixed blade, but for me, it works and I love it. You got this nice minimal sheath right here, Kydex sheath with lashing points. But I'm going to be honest, this thing's super lightweight, and that thin form factor, I just drop it in my back pocket or my front pocket. Sometimes I'll put one of those little clips on here. But very easy, very light. Huge lanyard hole back there. And absolutely beautiful blade. This is a Jerry Fisk design, and yeah, he's a living legend as well. The handle is probably one of my most comfortable handles in my EDC fixed blade collection. The way this comes down right here just fills out the hand nicely. Natural micarta scales. You have tubes that are pinned on that hold the scales on. S35 VN blade steel. Beautiful polished stone wash like on the backpacker. Nice fine jimping right there. Yeah, this one slices like nobody's business because you have this thin blade stock. Comes down to a nice thin edge. Yeah, that's why I carry this one as an EDC fixed blade, plus how light and slim it is. This is probably one of the biggest ones on my list, but I just love it and it works. Number 10, we have the Bradford Guardian 3. This right here is an aftermarket Kydex sheath that I got off of Etsy. It works okay, but I think I may go back to the leather sheath. It works just a little bit better. After I finish this one, I do have one more bonus one that I'll show y'all, but I love the Bradford Guardian 3. I think it's an amazing knife. I like how you get the nice long blade and you can still get your hand in there. It gives you the most blade possible. Where they give you that choil. It's a 50-50 choil there, or 50-25, whatever you want to call it. This particular one's in Stonewash and Saber Ground and CPM 3V. I love 3V. It's a great performing steel, super, super tough. And in my review of this one, I beat on this one as well, and it handled it without a problem. I did the testing that I did this time, and I have not sharpened it since the last testing, so I think it did outstanding. Another super comfortable handle. Got the nice bulbous scales that flare out toward the bottom. This is the contoured version. It's a little bit more expensive, but I think it's super, super comfortable. My only issue with this one was the little knots at the end were a little sharp, but I just knocked them down with a file, and I don't have any issues with them. Now, these scales are removable, but they have these proprietary, snake eye bits on there. I'm not sure why they use that. I guess they don't want you taking it apart. But I have a bit that fits that, so no problem. They keep the lanyard hole behind the scales, and that's what kind of causes this big old lip right there. Definitely plan on getting me the Guardian 3 Warney and Sheep's Foot. Both of those look awesome. And that's my top 10. I got one more extra one that I want to show y'all that I didn't really put it on this list, and you'll see why. And that is my Jacob Creates Chickadee. Now this one, I can fit this in my 5th pocket, and that's usually how I carry it. I just didn't put it in there. I love this knife. It's just not as capable as the rest because it's a 3-finger grip. Now, don't get me wrong, it's comfortable, and I did do some cutting with this, and you can do it just fine. But it's a lot easier to do with all the other ones on this list. But this thing is a full flat ground blade, comes down to a nice thin edge. I'm pretty sure this one was in M4 at like 64, maybe Rockwell. Got the blue micarta with the micro milling on it. They're just a very, very nice package. He always does like different themes. I forgot what this one was called. You have this like blue carbon fiber Kydex, and he even puts his little maker's mark there. Excellent Kydex sheath, excellent little knife, and it's a fun one. That one gets super, super sharp as well. So that's my top 10. Let me know if you have if you have one that's in my size range that you think I would love. I would definitely appreciate it because I love finding new ones that I had never heard of before. And let me know what y'all think about the video. If y'all want to see my top 10 under $100, y'all let me know. I don't think I've done one of those in a while. I try to do one of these every year if I have enough new stuff to see if I boot out anything. Y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.